Yes, dear students, now we'll continue with question number 17. Sucrose crystals obtained from sugarcane and beetroot are mixed together. Will it be a pure substance or a mixture? Give reason for the same. This will be a pure substance as their chemical composition is same irrespective of the source. 18th, give some examples of Tyndall effect observed in your surrounding. Sunbeam coming from ventilation, glass containing milk in it appearing faint blue, sunbeam coming from behind the clouds, milk of magnesia suspended in water, sunlight entering to canopy of trees are a few examples. Apart from this, we also can see that headlight beams visible in a foggy day. Number 19. Can we separate alcohol dissolved in water by using separating funnel? If yes, then describe the procedure. If not, then we have to give the reason. Alcohol is dissolved in water since mix in all proportion from form a homogeneous mixture. And an example of miscible mixture too. The liquids do not form separate layers, so cannot be separated by using separating funnel. This can be separated by fractional distillation as the difference in the boiling point of alcohol and water is less than 25 Kelvin. On heating, calcium carbonate gets converted to calcium oxide and carbon dioxide. 20th number. Is this a physical or chemical change? It is a chemical change. New substances are formed. Can you prepare one acidic or basic solution by products formed by the above process? And we have to give the chemical equation for this. Yes, we can make the acidic as well as basic solution. When the products are dissolved in water, these react. Number one, the product is calcium oxide, which when reacts with water gives calcium hydroxide, basic in nature. Number two, the product is carbon dioxide, which when dissolved in water reacts and gives carbonic acid, acidic in water. So we can have the equations also. Nonmetals are usually poor conductors of heat and electricity. They are non-lustrous, non-sonorous, non-malleable, and are colored. We have to give the examples of non-metal which justify these points and satisfy these points. Number 8, a lustrous non-metal is iodine. A non-metal which exists as a liquid at room temperature, bromine. The allotropic form of a nonmetal is a good conductor of electricity. It's graphite. The nonmetal is carbon. A nonmetal which is known to form largest number of compounds, carbon. A nonmetal other than carbon which shows allotropy, sulfur, can be even phosphorus. Allotropy is the phenomena by which arrangement of atoms determines different physical forms of the same element. The last one, a non-metal which is required for combustion, it is oxygen. Number 22, we have to identify from this image figure the elements and the compounds. If we see this, the elements of the group are copper, represented here with the symbol Cu, zinc, Zn, fluorine having formula F2, oxygen, O2, diamond, and mercury having symbol Hg. The compounds are calcium carbonate represented by formula CaCO3 and water molecule H2O. The other substances are mixture, which include sand, wood, and aqueous common salt sodium chloride NaCl. Sand is a mixture of different soil particles in it. Wood is a mixture of different elements as well as compounds. Aqueous sodium chloride, that is salt solution, is mixture of salt and water. Number 23. Which of the following are not compounds? Of this group, A. Chlorine gas, C. Iron, E. Aluminium, F. Iodine, G. Carbon, and the last I. Sulfur powder are elements. So these are not compounds. Long answer type questions. The first one is about fractional distillation. We have to give which part of the fractional distillation apparatus makes it efficient and possesses an advantage over simple distillation process. You will draw the diagram with the help of your textbook in the note copy. So in fractionating column, which is packed with the glass beads, it provides a surface for vapors to collide and lose energy so that these can be quickly condensed and then distilled. The length of the column increases the efficiency of both condensation and distillation. These two are the advantages of fractional distillation apparatus over simple distillation. Number 2. Under which category of mixtures will you classify alloys? Alloys are homogeneous mixture where the components are evenly mixed. A solution is always a liquid? No. A solution can be a solid, alloys, a liquid, that is seawater, as well as a gas, air. Can a solution be heterogeneous? It is again no. A homogeneous mixture in the liquid or solid or in gaseous state only are known as solutions or true solutions. If it is heterogeneous mixture, then can be colloid or suspension. Next, number 3. Iron fillings and sulfur are mixed together, divided into parts. First part is heated strongly, whereas part B was not heated. Dilute hydrochloric was added to both the parts. Evolution of gas was seen in both the cases. We have to identify the gases evolved. So we can say part A first. Iron and sulfur mixture on strong heating undergoes chemical change and gave iron sulfide, formula FeS. When dilute hydrochloric acid was added to it, the result was formation of iron 2 chloride or ferrous chloride and release of hydrogen sulfide gas, a foul smelling gas. In part B, when dilute hydrochloric was added to the mixture of iron and sulfur, since it was not heated, no chemical change occurred between iron and sulfur. This will again produce iron 2 chloride on reacting with dilute hydrochloric acid and will release hydrogen gas. This gas burns with a pop sound. Here in part 2, sulfur remains unaffected. A child wanted to separate the mixture of dyes constituting a sample of ink. He marked the line as given in the figure 2.3. On the basis of this, we have to give the following answers. What would you expect to see if the ink contains 3 different color components? The 3 different color bands will be observed and this will give us the various pigments present in it. What is the technique? The technique is chromatography, also known as paper chromatography. So just one more application of this technique It can be used to separate pigments present in the chlorophyll, to separate the drugs from blood or urine, to separate the dyes from paint or color. Number 5 is about a group of students who took up an activity and have made this kind of arrangement given in figure 2.4. We have to answer the question as per given here. First one, why the milk sample was eliminated and what is the phenomena involved. The milk sample was eliminated because of the Tyndall effect, as it is a colloid and having the particles distributed throughout the solution. Same results were not observed with a salt solution. Reason, it is not possible with salt solution because salt solution is a true solution. The particles are so small, minute, that would not scatter the beam of light. Can you suggest two more solutions which would show the same effect as shown by the milk solution? Soap solution and sulfur solution from our daily life can show the same effect. Number 6 is classify each of the following as physical chemical change along with the reason. Drying of a shirt in the sun, a physical change because evaporation of water takes place, but no change occurs in the composition of substances. B. Rising of hot air over a radiator. It also is a physical change involving only the movement of air, no change in composition of the air. Number C. Burning of kerosene in a lantern. We can have both physical as well as chemical change here. Physical change when the kerosene oil vaporizes as it gets the heat. After that, burning of kerosene vapors, chemical change because it converts kerosene vapors to carbon dioxide and even water. The next, change in color of black tea on adding lemon juice to it. A chemical change, as acid present in the lemon juice will react with the constituent present in the black tea. That component is caffeine. The last, churning of milk cream to get butter. It's a physical change as there is no change in the composition of milk, only the separation of components takes place by physical method of centrifugation. During an experiment, the students were asked to prepare 10% mass by mass solution of sugar in water. Ramesh dissolved 10 gram of sugar in 100 gram of water. Sarika prepared 10 gram of sugar to make 100 gram of solution. Are the two solutions of same concentration? What will be the comparison? First of all, the two solutions are not at all the same concentration. Mass by mass percentage of the solution, if calculated, we can calculate it by formula mass of solute divided by mass of solution into 100. In case of Ramesh solution, we can say that the mass of solute is 10 divided by mass of solution, which is mass of solute plus mass of solvent, 110 multiplied by 100. This gives concentration as 9.1 percentage. Whereas in Sarika's solution, mass of solute is 10, mass of solution is 100, and keeping the value to formula, it will be 10 by 100 into 100, 10%. The solution prepared by Ramesh has less percentage by mass than that of Sarika and is less concentrated. You are provided with the mixture of the things which is having iron or iron fillings, sand, ammonium chloride, and sodium chloride. What will be the procedure to separate these constituents? First, iron fillings can be removed by using magnet over the mixture. Second, Heating the mixture, we can get ammonium chloride vapors, which on cooling gives the crystals of ammonium chloride by sublimation. Third, the remaining solution can be converted to a solution adding water. With constant stirring, it will be filtered to collect the filtrate. Sand can be separated by filter paper as residue. Finally, the filtrate is heated over flame. Evaporation of water leaves behind sodium chloride being non-volatile. The next is about again preparation of a solution with four representation. We have to select the correct representation and it is C number. If we calculate mass by mass percentage concentration of the solution, keeping the values to formula mass of solute divided by mass of solution or mass of solute plus mass of solvent into 100, we will get the desired concentration of the solution if the mass of solute is 0.01 gram of sodium chloride and mass of solvent as 99.99 gram of water. Adding 2 will give us 100 gram of salt solution. This will give us the required concentration of the solution. The next one, the last one, is to calculate the mass of sodium sulfate required to prepare its 20% mass mass by mass solution in 100 gram of water. Again, keeping the value to the formula, we can say that mass of sodium sulfate we have to calculate, so let the mass be x gram. Mass of solvent is given here 100 gram. So mass of solution would be x plus 100 gram. Keeping the value to the formula, mass of solute divided by mass of solution into 100, we can have x divided by x plus 100 into 100 equals to 20, or 20x is equals to 2000, and after solving it we will have x is equals to 25 gram. So we have completed with the question answers. Now we will start with a new lesson in our next class. Thank you.